Let's bring in New Jersey Democratic Congresswoman Mikie Sherrill, who served in the Middle East as a Navy helicopter pilot. She was also a Russia policy advisor and is currently a member of the House Armed Services Committee. Congresswoman, when all of this news broke, there was no one we wanted to speak to more. Thank you for making yourself available. You know Russia. You know Vladimir Putin. Are these sanctions enough to stop him from trying to interfere in the next election, or do we need something stronger?
Well, Stephanie, thanks for having me. I think these sanctions are a good start to show Russia that there is a new administration in town, that we aren't going to stand by as they commit cyber hacks on our country, as they interfere in our elections, and try to divide our population. I think this is a good start, and it remains to be seen how Russia will react to this and if they will understand this as a need for them to kind of clean up their act and be better actors on the world scene.
But is Vladimir Putin ever going to clean up his act? Come on.
Vladimir Putin will likely be looking for different things. He's a former KGB guy. I think that is his mentality. He sees the United States and Russia as engaging in a zero-sum game. So any win by the United States is a loss to Russia in his worldview. So he will never be an ally of the United States. He's always someone that I think we have to watch carefully. I don't think he's very trustworthy. However, I think he understands he understands power politics, and he understands that if he continues these attacks on the U.S. under this administration, the response will be escalated.
Let's turn to the other news out of the White House. Do you agree with this decision to leave Afghanistan, and just as importantly, the way the president is going about it?
Stephanie, you mentioned two very important things. First of all, is it time to pull out of Afghanistan? And the answer is yes. We have really, been there for 20 years. It's hard to believe we're going to be celebrating or sadly talking about the 20th anniversary of 9/11 this September. We have people who have fought in this war, and now their children are fighting in this war. It's an intergenerational war at this point, the longest war the United States has been engaged in. We have ended the ability of al-Qaeda to grow terrorism and commit terrorist acts from their base in Afghanistan, which was our mission. We have captured and killed Osama bin Laden, the head of that organization. Certainly, we need to keep up diplomacy, as the president wants to do. We need to commit to economic aid to ensure that more terrorist organizations and cells aren't being propagated from Afghanistan. But I think you see with the loss of life, that too many families spending Christmases without their fathers or mothers, too many families struggling through a loved one's PTSD. It is time now that we have, it is time now to pull our combat troops out of Afghanistan. But you mentioned a second thing that I think is really important. How do I feel about how President Biden has done this? This has been done in a way that I feel so much more confident in than under the last administration. President Biden himself said he maybe wouldn't have started this process like President Trump did, but he feels the United States has made a commitment, and he is honoring that commitment, something that President Trump again and again refused to do, honor the U.S. commitments in previous administrations, undermining our standing across the world, undermining our credibility across the world. President Biden understands the ramifications of that and is not going to do that. He also has done this in concert with our allies. After he announced this, our allies came forward and announced their own withdrawals. We aren't going it alone. We are making sure that the people who have fought shoulder to shoulder with us, the countries who the minute we were attacked on 9/11 were standing side by side with us to help us protect the homeland, we are good partners with them, that we are making sure that they have been brought into these discussions, and that they are standing again shoulder to shoulder with us as we make different decisions and withdraw the combat troops from Afghanistan.
Before I let you go, explain this bill Democrats are introducing today to expand the Supreme Court from 9 to 13 justices. Are you on board? And why do it now as opposed to waiting until after the president's study on the Supreme Court is finished?
Yes, Stephanie, I'm not on that bill. I don't think this is timely. We do need to have a study. I want to look at ways that we can ensure that in the future, the American people know that our Supreme Court is chosen, for example, in a more fair way. The way McConnell has done this over his tenure was, egregiously inappropriate and unfair. So I think we need to do this study. We need to look at ways of ensuring the public knows that our justices, those who decide the law, the highest court in the land, are chosen in a fair process. And so I think that's important, but we do need to look at all of the options. I don't think this bill right now is timely.
Congresswoman, thank you for joining us this morning. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.